All right, guys, welcome to the channel. Maine. Why are there so many freaking people moving here? What's going on? Why is the last state, the most eastern state in the country, actually Alaska is the most eastern state in the country because they got those islands in the other time zone. But why are so many people moving to Maine? Guys, there's 8 trends. There's 8 things that I see, market trends of why people are moving here. But I'm going to do something a little different again in this episode in 2025. I closed out last year and I did an episode about a week ago and I told you about what was the average sale price of a house in Maine per county from 2024 to 2023. And I did that because I get asked all the time, what is the average sale price? What's going on in the real estate market? And I've always said, using the average sale price is not a great indicator of what the market is doing in Maine. Sure, it'll give you an idea of how expensive things can be, but if you use the average sale price, you're kind of missing the boat a little bit. What I've always told people is you got to look at the median price. The median price is the price in the middle. That means half the houses are less and half the houses are more. And that's how you should be basing your search, whether you're buying, selling, or relocating here, on what's going on in Maine. When you do that, you're going to see it's a very different story. So I'm going to redo another episode. This episode, I'm going to use the same kind of statistics from my last episode, but I'm going to use median price compared to average list price or average sale price. And you'll notice there is quite a difference. The challenge with using average sale price in Maine is we have 8 counties on the coast and people flock here to live on the coast. And there's a lot of money coming into Maine for these very wealthy people to build homes on the coast. And when they do that, it inflates the numbers. So if you just use a calculator, if you had 5 houses, 2 of them worth 200,000, 2 of them were worth 300,000, and one was worth 5 million, right? That's a total of $6 million divided by 5 houses. That means that the average house would cost like 1.2 million, but that's not the case, right? If you take the median, the average price of a house is like 300,000. So it just inflates the numbers. So median is the best number to use. And then those statistics will tell you what's really going on in the state of Maine per county and the 8 trends of why it's happening. So guys, I hope this is helpful. I hope you stick around. And if you do, grab your hot chocolate, grab your coffee, grab your woolly socks, because we're going to get after that right now. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. As always, if you don't know me, if you haven't seen any of my videos, my name is Scott Tebow. I am a broker with eXp Realty. I actually founded Live Life in Maine, which is kind of like a relocation and a home buying service for people that are moving here. And I got to tell you guys, I got like 20 different clients right now that are moving to Maine or in the process of moving to Maine. I just met with a couple from Naples, Florida last week. I talked to a couple from Virginia last week as well. I got couples all the time looking to get out of where they're ever living. And it's cross the country. It isn't just one specific area and looking to move to Maine. I'm also the founder and principal owner of Atris Real Estate Group. So that is a group that we help people transact or do some of the largest real estate transactions in terms of things that are a little bit more complicated, whether it's land, whether it's surveys, whether it's inspections, whether it's negotiating a deal, something a little different than just the average sale price of a house, a typical brokerage would do or a realtor would do. So we combine those two things together. And we have a lot of consulting fees on top of that, which a lot of people pay us just to have that side of the house. Because when you got people moving up here and they're not necessarily looking to invest, especially investors looking for cap rates around 10%, looking what it takes to repair a home to get to that cap rate, and you're not from here, but say you have a 1031 exchange or you're looking to do something along those lines, then me and my team are some of the people that get a call because we understand the market pretty well, especially on the investment and the rental and the rehab side of things. All right, guys, without further ado, more importantly than all that, I should say, I'll get killed if I don't say this, but it's true. More importantly than my career, guys, I'm a husband, I'm a father of 5, a grandfather of 3, I'm a patriot, I'm a veteran, and I'm a son of Maine. I lived here almost my entire life, other than about 9 to 10 years where I left to join the military, serve our country, and then came back 9 to 10 years later, and I've been back ever since. So let's go into this real quick, guys. I'm going to try to make these videos a little bit quicker. I get this kind of long sometimes. There's just so much content and so many things to talk about that I try to squeeze it in, and maybe I'll start shortening them and give you guys more quicker blurbs and maybe put out more videos, but you tell me. All right, let's again start with Aroostook County. I'm going to go top down. So if you're comparing this to the video from a couple weeks ago or last week, we're going to do the same thing. So in Aroostook County, which is the northernmost county in Maine, again, it's flashing on your screen right now. I highlighted it red. The average sale price in 2023 again was $171,125. In 2024 was $185,717, 8.53% increase. However, if you look at the median sale, this is where we're going to get into it, right? The median sale price, half the houses are more, half the houses are less. 2023, $148,192 compared to $159,392. Or 7.56%. So if you're looking at Aroostook County, you're going to kind of want to say in 2024, the average price of a home was about $159,000, $160,000. Now, obviously, different homes are going to dictate different prices, right? Depends on how big it is, how small it is, the characteristics of that house. Is it on a lake or is it, on a major highway or whatever, right? But on average, the median price for a home was $159,394. That's your base mark you should use. And then you can start looking at prices or homes that are more expensive or less expensive to see if it fits into the criteria that you're looking for. So that's Aroostook County, again, Native American name, beautiful river. Moving across the top, left to right, we're going to go with Somerset County. Again, Somerset was named after Somerset, England. Same thing, year, price, 2023, average sale price of a house in 2023 is $236,643. 2024, $254,609 for a 7.59% increase. But again, median sale, $209,779, $226,937 in 2024 for 8.18%. You're going to see that the median price in some of these counties are drastically different than the average sale price, especially as we get closer to the coast. You're not going to see it as much in these counties because the coast is not influencing the price as much, but you're going to see it drastically as we start coming down the coast. Flipping along Penobscot County. Penobscot County is where Bangor, Brewer, Orono, UMaine is the University of Maine. It's a college campus, the main campus. Average sale price $236,643 in 2023 versus $254,609 in 2024, 7.59% increase again. Median sale $209,779 in 2023, $226,937 in 2024 for 8.18%. And you can see they're not drastically that different, but they are lower, right? There is a swing when you look at those 4 or 5 counties. They're not drastic going to go from median to average because there's probably just not enough homes being sold that's really going to plane out those numbers, or that are going to plane out those numbers that are not going to be drastic swings. But you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. Washington County, furthest eastern county in Maine, and the most eastern county in the continental 48 states, lower 48. Sale price $269 and $685 in 2023 compared to $270, $621 in 2024. That's in a little more than 1/3% of an increase. Median sale price $217. You seen this dip a little bit? $217, $829, and then $216, $250 in 2024. Again, you get away from that coast, and then if you notice on your map on when I flash on the screen, if you look at Washington County, you're going to see you're in down east. You're going to see those islands in that coastal area, right? This is where you're going to start seeing the difference, and you'll notice that the average median sale price in 2024 was lower than the median sale price in 2023 by about a little over 2/3%. So home prices had come down a little bit when you're talking about median. Now you're going to start seeing some of the big swings, right? Hancock County. Hancock County is where Bar Harbor is, Mount Desert Island, touristy area. A lot of people love living up there. They have a lot of vacation homes, right? People come up for July, August, September, maybe October, maybe come back at Thanksgiving, maybe come back to do a little skiing and drive up to the slope. So I think they're mostly there for the summer weather, not so much the winter weather, because it is a little bit of a drive to get to some of the ski slopes from Hancock County. But again, if you look at the average sale price compared to the median sale price, right? 2023, 544, 204. 2024, 577, 897. But look at the difference in median. I mean, 2023, over $150,000 difference. I want to say roughly 394,083, 404, 463. Look at that drop. Look at that drastic drop. This is because, again, guys, vacation homes being bought on the coast versus the rest of the homes being bought in the state or in the county, in and around the county. When you get away from that coast a little bit, right, it really drastically changes the median prices of homes, right? When you remove those high $1 million, $2 million, $3 million homes that are being built on the coast or have been built and are being flipped over, bought and sold, you're going to see a drastic difference. And again, the median price only went up 2.63 or 2.63% in over 2023. Waldo County, same thing, right? Again, along the coast, kind of in the mid coast, right? Left of Bar Harbor or west, a little west of Bar Harbor. Yeah, you got same thing. 368, 305 in 2023. 487, 329 in 2024. Those are the average sale prices of homes. But if you go to the median, again, I'm going to say this, I'm going to keep saying this, half the houses are more and half the houses are less. So that's your benchmark. 322, 783 in 2023, 388, 858 in 2024. Again, almost $100,000 difference. So that's going to give you guys a swing of, hey, do you want a higher end price? Do you want to look at the higher end of the market in Waldo County? Do you want to look at the lower end of the market in Waldo County? Or do you want to look at kind of what the median is, what average things are going for in Waldo County? And again, it depends on the house, the material effects of the house and where the home is located, right? Real estate's first and foremost location. Then it's what's the house like? Again, 10.25% increase, which is a lot less than the sale price of 32.3% if you're looking at the average sale price in Waldo County. And again, coming down the coast, Knox County, same thing. Look at the average sale price in 2023 and 2024. $617,914, $622,740 compared to the median, $443,002 and $461,133, $150,000. Guess maybe 160. I'm just kind of doing it in my head. Difference. That's the swing. That's the bell curve, if you will. That is how much there's a range of homes in Knox County, right? The closer you get to the coast, obviously that swing is going to get higher. Those houses are going to get more expensive. The further away from you get to the coast, and I'm not talking hundreds of miles. I'm just talking 10 miles, 15 miles away from the coast, right? If you're still in Knox County. You're going to see a big drastic change in the price of homes, specifically in the median side. That's not to say that you can't buy, a $622,740 home right on the border of Waldo and Hancock County up there Waldo and Knox County up there in the upper left-hand corner. I'm just saying that you get away from the coast, prices come down, right? Everybody wants to go to the coast because it's so beautiful, it's so picturesque, but there's only so much coast. Even though Maine has the fourth largest coast in the country, there's only so much coast. And at some point, they're going to stop pushing west. And we're starting to see that more and more in Maine as people are moving west, if you will, kind of like go west, back in the Oregon Trail and stuff. But they're going west, kind of getting away from the coast. And this is where Maine becomes very affordable when you get 10, 15, 20 miles away from the coast. You're going to see that the prices are drastically different than they are on the coast. And this is another example. And then Lincoln County, right? Same thing. Along the coast, the mid-coast, you got 2023, 554, 712, 2024, 585, 625. That's the average sale price of homes in that county that year, 2024 over 2023. But if you look at the median sale price, right? $100-something difference, 432, 996 in 2023 compared to 458, 225 in 2024. Again, guys, over $100,000 difference in home prices or median sale prices of homes compared to the average costs. And again, I can't go through every town in every county. It would just be too much. It would be too much. You know, I could just do one county. I could spend hours on just one county and go through every town, but I'm just trying to give you guys kind of broad strokes and, you know, an example of what's going on. And then as we dive in, as you start looking at different properties and homes within those counties, we start working together, we can narrow down those numbers and really sharpen that pencil and tweak those numbers in. And then it comes to negotiations, right? Which is, I think a lot of realtors are good at this. You know, ones that have been around a while, we kind of understand the market, but that's really how we make our money is negotiation. And again, not trying to digress off this comment, but it's one thing to get your house under contract or a house under contract. It's another thing to get it sold and all the steps you got to go through between those two processes. One thing to make an offer, another thing to get it accepted, and another thing to get it closed. It's really three distinct processes to have that happen, whether you are a seller or a buyer. Saginaw County, same thing, guys. It looks like almost all these prices are like 100,000-ish, give or take. Less median sale price and average sale price. Saginaw is where you got Bath, Brunswick. Bath is a shipbuilding town. I'm going to say it's a town. I don't think Bath is a city. It's a town. Get some shipbuilding out there. You got Brunswick, which used to have one of the largest naval air stations on the East Coast. It's now kind of development and condos and businesses. Again, but median sale price versus average sale price. Just look at those numbers, guys, and there's a pretty big spread. So that gives you a good idea, again, what home prices are going for in Maine on average in a baseline of the half the homes are more and half the homes are less. That's what you should really be looking at and starting. All right, guys, moving on. If you look at Kennebec County, right? Kennebec County average sale price $316,791 in 2023 compared to $335,110 in 2024. And then if you look at that median sale price, or at a drop of about $30,000, $278,521 in 2023 compared to $302,400 in 2024. So again, away from the coast a little bit. You're going to see those prices come down. And Androscoggin County, same thing. This is where Lewiston and Auburn is, Milltown. You have the Androscoggin River, which really built the towns of Lewiston and Auburn, which is the second largest metropolitan area in Maine behind Portland. And then you got Bangor Brewer. Average sale price in Androscoggin County, $328,319 compared to $347,662 in 2024. But median sale price down about $20,000 in 2023 compared to average $310,458 and then $325,579 or 4.87% increase. So I say that, guys, just again, because, you know, median is, again, half the houses are higher and half the houses are lower. But when you get away from the coast, the spreads between average and median isn't as great as it is on the coast. And then, guys, look at Franklin County, right? In Franklin County, you had $325,710 in 2023 versus $380,672 in 2024. And you're looking at median price, $259,549 compared to $304,079. Again, a pretty drastic difference between what the average price of a house was selling for when you add them all up compared to what the median price. Half the houses are higher and half the houses are lower in Franklin County. Oxford County, again, all these counties, same thing, guys, get away from the coast. $396,56, $393,147, 2023 to 2024. Compared to $310 average median price, $310,575 to $316,170 in 2024. Cumberland County, again, largest county in Maine in terms of population. This is where you have Portland, Westbrook, Falmouth. This is where a lot of the money is. This is where Portland, I already said, is. This is the flagship city of Maine, the largest city, not the capital of Maine, but the largest city in, I think it was 2 years ago, the eighth most moved to city in the country, or the eighth best city to live in the country. Average sale price $658,636 in 2023, up to 719, 979 in 2024. But if you look at the median, again, there's some wild swings there. What's that? A 260,000, not that high, actually, $170,000 swing. 527.48, 564, 176, right? Pretty big swings, right? You get away from that coast, especially you get away from Falmouth Foreside. You get away from kind of right there on the east and western promenades of Portland, looking over the harbor, looking over Portland, looking over Casco Bay. You're going to see some pretty big swings when you stop looking at that ocean. York County, same thing, right? 627, 173, 673, 015. Median sale price 458, 778, and 513, 851. So again, guys, all I was trying to do is emphasize on these numbers is really get a look at the median price of a home, what a median price of a home sold for in those counties in 2024 versus 2023 compared to what the average sale price was. And those numbers, specifically across the coast are pretty jaded because you got some pretty wealthy high-end properties that were sold along the coast. And that's going to continue to happen as more people with wealth and money are moving to the coastal parts of Maine to have homes in the summertime, mostly here. And then if you look at the whole state of Maine, so I find this very interesting. Sure, the average sale price for 2023, $453, $560 compared to $496, $525. Again, those prices are really jaded, are really made up because of the coast of Maine. But if you look at the median sale price, $360, $458 compared to $388, $208. So the median sale price of a home in Maine in 2024 was like $12,000 less $400,000, which is kind of like the benchmark now, I think, in Maine in general. What's interesting is Maine ranks nationally 17th in terms of prices of homes, median prices of homes. So again, out of the 50 states, we're 17th. So we're not, when I started this channel, I think we were what, 26? So obviously our prices have come up, supply and demand. Now we're 17th, which is a good thing and a bad thing. We're getting more expensive. We're also seeing more people move here. And then I found this statistic really interesting. Median home prices in Maine since 2019 has increased 78.5%, the most in the country. And I said, wow, that's crazy. And now why is that? And here's the reason, guys, why Maine is not a secret anymore. There are so many people that want to move here, that are looking to move here. You know, it used to be, until you had the data, until you had social media, until you could see video and be online and stuff, you didn't really know much about Maine. There was not a lot of talk about Maine. We're a relatively small state with small industries and small towns, right? And you really didn't talk about it. The people who lived here and who vacationed up here knew about it, and they kept it a secret. But you can only keep a secret so long before the masses find out, right? So what is being discovered in Maine we've already known for years, right? But now it's being discovered, and this is why I believe in one of the reasons why prices of homes have increased since 2019 by 78.5%, the largest in the nation. First and foremost, people move to Maine because of its scenic beauty, right? You have the coastline that I talk about a lot, but you also have the forests and the mountains, right? Maine has some of the most wilderness you'll ever see. And there's parts of Maine, like when you get into the Allagash and to the west, if you're looking at Somerset counties and Piscataquis counties, they are pretty woody, pretty desolate. You can get lost in those woods. And if you want to live off the grid, you really want to be like a show I used to love when I was a kid called Grizzly Adams. If you want to live that lifestyle, it's going to be pretty harsh. But if you're prepared for it and you want to live that lifestyle, Maine is one of those places you could do it because there's a lot of woods and a lot of wilderness in that part of the state. But you also have the four seasons, which a lot of people are starting to like. Yeah, sure, it's cold right now, right? The average temperature last week was like in the 10s. We didn't have any snow. We don't have hardly any snow here right now in Maine on the coast. I think we might have a little bit more up in the county, but I don't really know. I haven't had a lot of snow. It's like we're getting still the cold temperatures, but we're not getting the wetness. So we're not getting the snow, right? But four seasons is just, spring, summer, fall, and winter. And this, if you love the seasons, obviously you're going to love Maine because every season is a little unique in itself and you can do all kinds of different things. It's not the same old thing every day. It's the variety of the seasons, right? That's number one, scenic beauty. Number two, quality of life, right? Low crime rate. Maine typically is first, second, or third in terms of the lowest crime rate in the country, right? So people are looking to move up here because of low crime rate. They're also looking at the healthy living, right? You can be outside, one with nature. The air seems cleaner. The food is fresher, right? You're not dealing with smog and congestion and all that like you are in many of the other states around this country. And then Maine has they really have kept that small town charm, right? A lot of these towns, like where I live, which is the sixth largest metropolitan area in Maine, Biddeford and Saco, we call it the Twin Cities, has a population total between those two towns of 50,000 people. You may be watching this video and you have 50,000 people within a quarter of a mile of your house or your apartment or wherever you're living. So that small town charm. Cost of living, as I said, while it's not the least expensive in the county or in the country, it's more affordable than almost all the other New England states. I think Connecticut is probably one of the most, Connecticut and Massachusetts for a cost of living perspective is pretty expensive. I think houses are pretty expensive. I just saw a statistic though that surprised me that the median sale price of a house in Connecticut was the lowest it has ever been and lower than the other 5 New England states. Maine was 5th, Connecticut was 6th. And I really think that's because if you get away from the coast, again, Connecticut, same story, away from New York, and you get further west, you're going to see those home prices come down a lot. But most affordable than the other New England states. Taxes are moderate compared to the other New England states, especially if you're looking at Massachusetts. Those taxes are really high. So cost of living is another reason why people are looking to move to Maine. And then you got cultural appeal, right? You got Portland. If you've never been to Portland, again, I have a video. I wouldn't want to live there, but vacationing there or visiting there or, living close to there and going in and coming out, great place. You got tremendous, a vibrant scene of restaurants and different delicacies and different foods and different, again, it's just the cultural scene is incredible in Portland. You have a pretty big arts community too and festivals in Portland. And then you have a lot of heritage, not just in Portland and not just arts and festival across Portland, but across state. But you have really a strong heritage of maritime, shipbuilding, fishing, really the heritage of Maine and how we came to be. And again, it draws a lot of people in. And then probably one of the biggest reasons, in my opinion, even though I didn't rank it in the top 4, is work-life balance, right? Think about how houses and the price of homes have grown 78.5 cents since 2019, or really since, when did COVID hit, right? 2020, February of 2020, February, March of 2020. Think about that. People wanted to escape the hustle and bustle of the urban life, the bigger cities, right? The congestion. They're looking a lot of, think about what has happened with Zoom as an example, right? There were all these different types of remote viewing technologies where, you could use Citrix or Microsoft. I think it was ShareSpace. I can't remember them all, right? But look how Zoom has just really taken over, right? And everybody's zooming in, zooming out. So the remote work, and not only just remote work, we can work from home, which a lot of companies are doing, but they're struggling. They're trying to get some people back to the office. But think about working remotely in Maine where you can literally sit on your back deck in the middle of the summertime when it's quiet and peaceful. You're not surrounded by all kinds of congestion. Now, I'm not saying that's across every square inch of Maine. Obviously, if you're downtown Portland and stuff, you're going to have those challenges. But quiet and peaceful settings is oftentimes I sit on my back deck at my house, and I'm just, writing a proposal or writing an offer or having conversations with potential clients or existing clients or negotiating deals because it's so peaceful. And it just gives you that kind of zest of life. It's hard to explain until you really experience it. And then there's a lot more work opportunities that have come up here, right? You have a huge healthcare industry. You have technology up here, especially in Southern Maine. I can't speak for the whole state when I talk to technology, but really in Cumberland and York counties, you have technology, and all these technology companies are coming up here because where the talent is moving, they want that work-life balance and that scenic beauty and that quality of life. But they realize now with good internet, they can live anywhere. So you have technology growing here where you're having more and more people move here, and they're in the technology sector. You also have tourism that's growing, and the educational systems in Maine are growing. Maine has some of the best schools in the country. So there's a lot of reasons why work-life balance. And then finally, Maine is really a family-friendly state, right? It's really a great state to raise a family because, again, I already talked about this, the safety of the state, the educational system, and a lot of the communities are community-centric. A lot of communities do a lot of community things based around the school districts and based around the schools, right? Football, well, it can't even compare to, I imagine, what Texas is. It's a community event, right? All these kids come out and they all hand in the towns, or soccer or lacrosse or basketball, right? It's community events. And this is where you meet your neighbors. And honestly, a lot of people, you can go to the library. There's a lot of libraries in Maine, and you can see all these activities and festivities of things to do in your community. If you just go to the library and look at the bulletin boards, right? All kinds of stuff. So it's really a family-friendly state to live in. So guys, obviously, I'm just going to say this. My channel is growing pretty good, and I'm starting to get some haters, and that's okay, right? I think part of it is people don't want people from here do remember what housing prices was prior to 2019 and how that 78.5% prices increase and how they're like feeling pushed out and how they're feeling like, wow, I can't afford to live in the state that I grew up in anymore. And I don't think that's the case. I think you just have to adopt and change and grow yourself. But I understand why some people may feel that way. I'm also getting a lot of people saying, wow, I never knew this about Maine. And can you help me? Can I look around? I'm thinking about flying here, and can you give me some ideas of where I can look around and get a vibe of what's happening here in Maine? So really, it's not a secret anymore. I'm going to keep pushing on that. I'm going to keep emphasizing on that. I'm not looking to double the population of Maine either. I'm not saying that. I don't think we ever will do that because some people just don't want to live in the cold. Some people do like the urban hustle and bustle. Some people do like that type of lifestyle. Some people need the clubs and the music and the warm beaches. And, again, that's why you got a Florida and you got a Texas and you got a Hawaii and you got a California. You got a Virginia, even in the Carolinas, right? It's a lot less. It's pretty inexpensive, or a lot. The prices in the Carolinas, what I've seen, if you get away from the coast, are less than Maine. But again, the weather, the heat is really driving people out of those states, not to mention the hustle and bustle. So Maine, again, is not a secret anymore. And when you compare Maine to New Hampshire's a lot like Maine, except New Hampshire's inventory is so low. There's hardly anything in New Hampshire, and it's really a struggle, where Maine is a much bigger state. Again, Maine is the same size as all the New England states put together. If you keep Cape Cod off it, if you add Cape Cod, then the 5 New England states, Cape Cod and Massachusetts, are bigger than Maine. But if you just remove Cape Cod, then Maine, all the New England states could fit into Maine. So we got a lot more land mass. Excuse me. So this is why Maine is becoming a desirable area. And I'm going to keep preaching that. I'm going to keep telling you why Maine is a great place to live. It's a great place to buy a home. It's a great place to invest in, guys, if you're investors, because the market's going to continue to appreciate as more and more people realize the value of what this state has to offer. And if you're an investor and you're looking to, get some return on your money, then Maine, in the real estate market, Maine's a great place to have that happen. There's such a need. We have a housing crisis, much like the rest of the country, but we have a housing crisis, and not everybody can afford houses, right? We have an apartment crisis. A lot of people, there's not enough housing for the people that are here, right? There just isn't. And homeless is rising a little bit, especially in these bigger cities, especially along the coast. But it's not crazy like, other parts of the country that had, because we just don't have the populace. We just don't. And I don't think we ever will. I'd be surprised in my lifetime if Maine gets to 2 million people, which would be like a 600, 500,000 increase in people, from where we are today. I'd be surprised if this state got to 2 million. In relative terms, 2 million people in a state this size is relatively still sparsely populated. All right, guys, in closing, thank you all for your time. I hope this information was helpful. Drop me a line, subscribe to this channel. Let me know what kind of other information you're looking for, content. This is how my whole job is about education and helping you make the most informed decision. And again, guys, excuse me, math is math, right? Whether it's an opinion or not, I get that can be challenged, but these are just math numbers right from the multiple listing service, right for all of 2024 compared to 2023, now both average and median price of homes. So I hope this information was helpful. Drop me a line, let me know, give me a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Anything that you'd like to see, things that I can improve on. I'm open to all kinds of suggestions. Do it in a way that's not, I would hope that, people can be respectful. Again, the more you throw yourself out there like anything, the more you're going to take shots. And I'm pretty thick-skinned, but some of the shots I've taken, I was like surprised where those come from. And I get it. It's just out of fear of being left behind, fear of being pushed out. Guys, there's so many ways to make money in this country these days, whether you do what I do or whether you have a side hustle or whether you move, right? Change is a good thing and you have to evolve. The battle between your ears is bigger than the battle outside of your ears. That's all I'm going to say. So send me those comments, send me those questions. Let me know if you want to know more information. I'm here to help. Again, I work with about 20 to 30 clients a year. Probably 10, 11 from the relocation, and then the rest are either here looking to sell, buy, or invest. And then I do bring in, my HRS real estate group. We have this doesn't count those people. That's a different, unique proposition and things that we do, from land development to structuring deals to looking at investors and stuff like that. And in acquisitions, we're starting to get into more acquisitions as the market has started to slow down a little bit, and, trying to make your money when you buy, not when you sell. So putting together a group of an REI club and having it funded and then getting returns back on acquisitions that we buy, flip, or buy and hold. And if you're interested in that, let me know about that too. And we can have a side chat. It's not going to be part of this channel. It's something else. But all right, guys, I hope you appreciate it. Stay warm, and I'll get this content out pretty quick. All right, guys, thanks. Bye-bye. Scott Tebow, over and out.